A big raid from Mr. JR Star 3. Thank you for the raid, brother. Guys, get ready. We got to talk about the Chimera boss. Lots of things to discuss. Is this actually a good game mode or did they fail? We'll find out today. Let's go. Another raid from Mr. FinalKenpachi. How are you, brother? Get ready, guys. We got a juicy show today. It's going to be a fun one.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Knights of Teleria podcast, and thank you all for taking this beautiful Sunday and joining us. We got to talk about a lot of things today. We got Chimera Boss, we got the new patch, we got a new Bastion, and I'm loving it, loving it. But before we get too far, let me introduce the co-host with me today for the show. In the top little red box, we've got representing the $14 free-to-play community, Mr. FinalKenpachi. Ken, what is going on, brother? How are you?
I'm so tired, man. Like, we did a subathon on the Friday. You know, I was waiting Path of Exile to release it. Then Raid also released a massive patch. And we also got a sponsorship. I also need to do that. End of the day, we got like 14 hour. Wait, that's actually, I just noticed that $14, 14 hour subathon.
Coincidence?
There we go.
like how is that possible? But yeah, I'm here, bro. Glad to be with you guys. I actually have a question to the Gestal. Yeah, about the relics. Yeah, about the relics. You know, gemstone, which is 80% made for the speed meta. How he's feeling about that?
Okay. Hey, can you give us a little bit of information on your sponsor? That way some of the people here can give you a little hand on it.
No, it was just a stream and it's finished already. So, we played King Arthur. Yeah, it's a really fun game. Yeah, it's very good, very decent game. I think you guys are going to play this as well, right? And yeah, it's pretty good game and very rewarding, man. Like they give lots of free stuff, to be honest.
Okay. Next up, representing the top 100 live arena, Mr. Gestal Gaming. Gestal, what is going on, brother? You're muted.
Jinx.
You're still muted.
In Discord.
In Discord, bro.
You might be muted in your mic now.
Now you're muted on your mic.
Allowed to mute him.
Ryzori with the prime while we're waiting. Thank you so much.
Wow, yeah. Hey, thank you, Rezoria, for the prime. Thank you. I did see one more. I didn't miss it. I've got it.
Hello?
Now we got you. There we go. All right.
Sorry, I rebooted right before and it screws everything up. I apologize. Should have tested. I got Commodus. That's all that matters.
Okay.
Huge.
You got Commodus. All right. That's big.
He joined bedside.
PR Rand Jason, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate you. Next up, we got the 5-headed thinking player here, Mr. JR Star 3. Jay, what is going on, brother?
Doing pretty good, man. I consider myself 4-head, but I appreciate the honors of the 5-head.
4-head? Are you sure?
But yeah, doing pretty good, man. You know, I've been playing a little bit of King Arthur on the side and Wuthering Waves, but I've been excited for this new patch. Let's see if Playroom actually does it well and makes the content really good for us to be excited, just like Hydra was when it first came out.
All right. Sus, thank you very much for the sub, bro. Appreciate you. Next up, we've got one of my favorite late night streamers, Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what is going on, brother?
Excuse me, doing well. Yeah, excited about the Chimera. Been messing around with that. Was watching some UFC last night, some decent fights, and yeah, happy to be here, talk with you guys. Hope everyone is doing well. Sadly, I broke my primal streak. I pulled mythical on all the other 2x like primals, and this one nothing. But figured it had to come to an end eventually. But besides that, doing great.
All right. I didn't have too much of a crazy luck on my main account, but my old account did pull Commodus, so it's kind of sad. It's good on that one, sad on my main.
Always on that one.
Next up, we got the Bad Master, who looks like Christmas just threw up all over him, wearing what kind of a jacket is that, bro?
Bro, it's my fancy vest and my Hans Gruber sweatshirt.
Is that vest made out of tinsel?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. Also, the best part is, first of all, how are y'all doing? Doing great. The next best part of my attire is we made the college football playoffs with a hope and a chance. We've got Texas in the opening round as the 12 seed, but I'll take it. You know, you got a shot to get after it. And no, nobody knows what I'm talking about, but college football playoffs, that's what it is.
Okay.
And last weekend, we pulled Gizmac on our account. So we're super excited to get old Gizzy boy. And I haven't pulled for the summoning event now, but that'll be tonight on the stream. So,
all right.
How are you doing, sir? And you know what? This damn thing's too hot. It's coming off right now. Go ahead.
How hot is it in Texas right now? The moment I saw you put that out, I was like, really? But it's a good week. It's that time of year. It's really busy for us. So working 6 days a week, unfortunately, not being able to put out as much content as I want to and focus on YouTube. But it's the 1 month where I got to make that sacrifice to be Santa's little helper, you know? All right. Go ahead.
Pogo says Santa really wears brown and gold.
Yes. Santa really wears brown and gold, and comes many different. He'll visit many different houses at the same time. All right, let's start today's with a little bit of a good note, right? I want to talk about the Bastion. I think usually they do a pretty good job with the Bastion. But this year, I kind of like it, although I am a little bit upset that we don't have Gaelic and Zargala fighting. It's been a tradition that Gaelic gets his butt whooped by Zargala. But let me know real quick, what is your favorite part about this Bastion? What are you enjoying the most of? What do you find the most delightful thing about it? Chat, question to you guys, and I'm going to throw it to Ken first.
I don't know, like there's a new fusion, upcoming fusion sitting there. That's pretty cool.
The Bastion. Come on, you got
What do you mean Bastion?
The Bastion right here. What are you finding the most, like, what do you like the most part about it?
I just say that the fusion lady sitting there on the throne.
The fusion lady?
Yeah.
Okay. Santa's
Lady
wife?
Noella.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gestal, what about you?
I'm laughing at PBR and Jason response. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, I read it. We're gonna try to keep it a little PG today.
Initially I was a little upset that they didn't do anything with the bottom right corner, but then I realized that there's like a hot air balloon that goes up and down there.
Yep.
So shout out on that one. I thought they kind of left something open, and they did, and they got something cool there. So I'd say that's probably my favorite.
Okay. Jay, what about you?
At first, I was like, wait. Why is there like Jingle Hunters? Are they trying to like make us remember, have PTSD about that whole Jingle Hunter champion training thing, right? but then I'm like, wait, there's not one. There's multiple Jingle Hunters, and they're all over the place. Especially the summon portals. That one blew me away. I was like, this guy's ice skating and jumping over the portal. I was like, that is like icing on the cake. That's amazing. I was laughing about that.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
I like the Bastion. I've heard some complaints. I heard it has like too much red, and it's making like the red dots. I guess like they can't see like the red dots. I think it looks good. Personally, what I like about it would be just, I guess, the animations. I guess Lady Noelle like doing the snowflake in the air, and then the Jingle Hunter on the bottom setting the fire rocket, the fireworks off. Is pretty nice. And then yeah, them doing the ice skating is cool.
Okay. Mr. Dab Master.
Yeah, I like the Jingle Hunter with the skating, but you know what? The two snowmen guarding the portal there, dressed with armor and candy cane weapons. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
You need to pay them to access.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And you know what? And the Queen, whatever, the Saint Nick partner, I think, well, we'll talk about it later, but they're doing us wrong not giving us her kit. Well, force us to go for old Saint Nick, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
So my favorite part's actually the Jungle Hunter skating around the portal here.
That's dope.
I really like it. Although to Jay's point, it does give me a little bit of a PTSD type of situation with the Sir Nick Champ training event. So maybe not one of their best ideas, but like I said, I really miss the Zargala and Gaelic one. They've been kind of a staple there. So speaking about Lady Noelle, we do have the the Yuletide Titan event for Mr. Sir Nick. Jesus. 2,000 points to try to get him, right? They're giving us some points for free. I forget how many exactly it was.
500.
500 for free. So we got to get another, 1,500 for him. So let's talk a little bit about, is he worth getting? And, how many resources are we going to have to use for him? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to have a fusion right after this. And you got to kind of decide if you're going to go back to back for all of this. So let's go with Ken first. Ken, are you going for Mr. Sir Nick?
First, yes, there's a fusion coming. I believe on the 17th of the December. If you look to the PP calendar, fusion warm-up is going to start like 3 days before the 17th. So fusion probably coming guys on the 17th, 18th, stuff like that. And it's also confirmed on the in-game news. It's going to be Lady Noella.
Okay.
And the current state of the Sir Nicholas, definitely not worth it.
Okay.
Am I going for him? Yes. Why? Because they are couple champion. We don't know Lady Noella skill kit yet, but there is a chance they can be strong together. So I'm just high copying there. That's why I'm going for it. Hopefully, worth it. Hopefully, she's not going to be trash. That's what I'm hoping for.
Okay. Mr. Gestal, what about you?
Am I going for Santa or am I going for her?
For Santa.
Santa was my first Void champion, and back in the day, he was awesome. He did everything for me, including Demon Lord Clan Boss. He's certainly been on the show for a long time, so I'm excited to see what the combo will be.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going for him? I think if I get this one, it would actually be like a third or fourth. I don't know. On the free-to-play account, I'm definitely going for it. I think he's an all-around great champ. I don't have like a ton of supports there, especially like HP-based supports. I kind of look him as support. He can do pretty good damage, but just that he puts up the unkillable, kind of puts him in the support box. So he's a great champ for like that account. He'll be insane for us. So I'm definitely going for him.
Right. He used to be one of the hardest hitting HP based champions prior to some of Magnar's coming out of the game, and he was a real big carry for me for Doom Tower when it first came out. Used them in Arena when I didn't have a Man-Eater to kind of help me out with like against that Baron meta. So definitely great to have. Also early game like Spider, he gives you a massive shield. So definitely helps out. Jay, what about you? Are you going to be going for this event?
Yeah, I've never actually pulled a Sir Nick, and even though I've been playing for a long time, I never got the free Sir Nick when the game first started, as the first fusion. So I'm definitely going for him. I want to get him, just so I can have him. I almost actually did the token trader like way back, and I was like, do I really want to do this for Sir Nick? And I was like, what if they do something in the future? So I never did that. So luckily I didn't. So I saved my Legos.
Okay.
It's an 8 Lego, right, for him?
Yes. Yes, it is. And it's funny because on one of my old accounts, I pulled 2 of them. And so I was like, well, I'll just build them for an unkillable clan boss team. It worked well when I had one in the tower. but trying to put both of them together actually is more of a problem because of the HP pool. So they actually get stunned sometimes. So it's a little trickier to get them done. But PJ, what about yourself?
Yeah, I'll be going for them. I don't have them. Anytime I can get a void legendary or any kind of like any legendary for like in-game rewards. I don't like saying free, but like in-game earning. I think is always a pretty solid time to try to snag.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so here's the deal. First of all, and did y'all mention there's the whole Path of Power thing going on too? So not only talking about an upcoming fusion, we're ending the other fusion. It looks like maybe a soul for He-Man, and now the Saint Nick thing. So there's a lot going on in the game.
And 15x coming tomorrow as well. It's just announcement.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So all that being said, I have, and this is my philosophy on all of this now, I have stopped looking at champions saying, how are they going to help me in the game? Okay, especially with the relic system that we just talked about last week in the game, because just that alone can make any shelved or Vault Guardian champion super OP in the game. And of course, if you're thinking of going with the Queen to pair with him, great. For me personally, I actually just pulled him a couple months ago, but this will give me my 4th slot in the Faction Guardian, so I can't turn down a free champion to fill out that Faction Guardian set. But yeah, I'm just to the point now where I'm kind of just saying to the entire community, like, stop looking at stocked or whatever, if you can use them or not. Like, you don't know what they're going to introduce into the game. That's just going to make it, the next best thing. So that's just my personal opinion, and I get it. Not everybody has the resources, so you have to kind of pick and choose. That's kind of the balance, especially if you're free to play, right? I'm sure FinalKenpachi and all y'all can talk about that, but that's just kind of where I'm at on those situations. So yes, I am. What about you?
So I already have a Sir Nick. I'm not gonna blow the bank on like shards and stuff like that. So my Faction Guardians are currently full for that faction. So he's not going to be a big thing. I don't foresee myself needing to empower any one of these champs. So with that said, I'm going to do the events. I'm just not going to do the shard events just because I don't need them, right? But you did mention the He-Man soul. So with this event, this is one I'm considering about going for because I may be doing the naughty and purchasing He-Man.
Doing the smart.
Well, it's the naughty because I'm spending, and I'm trying not to spend. I'm trying to be like Kenpachi, free to play of whatever I've spent. But we'll see.
It's going to be a long number.
Yeah, it's a very long number. It's a very long number. But with that, we are going to have the event. Now, He-Man seems on, what we've seen from testing, he seems to be very good, especially with the ignoring Stone Skin. I don't know, am I missing here what soul we're going to get for him? Is it a 4-star or 5-star? I don't see anything here.
Probably 5.
Probably 5.
It doesn't specify.
Yeah.
Probably 1.
I would imagine 5 though. That's what
you do all the work for a 1-star soul. Great.
Half a star.
Half a star, he says. But let's see. Ken, will you be going for this?
No, man, I don't have a He-Man.
But you got Xena,
I mean, I will.
you?
Huh? No, I don't have a Xena too.
You don't?
I try like on her. Yeah, I try her 10x stuff like that, but didn't get luck. But I will open some shard, and I will open massive amount of the shard because Vulcanus 15x coming tomorrow, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna open my shard for the He-Man, but I also was thinking to open them for the Sir Nicholas Titan event. Now there's a Vulcanus as well. I will definitely open because Vulcanus is one of my most wanted champion. I really want him.
Okay. Mr. Gestal, what about you? Will you be going for the He-Man event?
Yeah, I've kind of been skipping a ton of stuff lately, so I've got plenty of shards saved up. So I'm definitely going for it, and I think the events that coincide with it are pretty good. So progressive event that's going with it is apparently pretty good. So yeah, I'll be pulling. I want him.
Okay.
I know people using him, so he's definitely viable in top end arena.
Okay. And Jay, what about you? Because you have He-Man, don't you?
Yeah. I actually got the Forge Fast and He-Man. I normally don't do that, but I was like, man, I really want to get like showcase He-Man good because other people showed it in all their videos, other content creators, and I was like, wow, he's actually really good. Like I think he's a little bit better. I know people like Xena, but I like He-Man just as in general because he scales with the HP as well. So just not only just PvP, but just PvE as well. It's just really good. And, like he just goes all the way. And I feel as the game goes on, if I don't get those blessings, it's cause I can't really use. I've been noticing most of the champions I use either live arena or in the future, like Centranos, right? If they're not blessed, they just kind of get like vaulted, like or I just don't prioritize the best gear on them. So I'm gonna have to. Hopefully, Playroom doesn't make it too crazy with the points, and I'll try to go for the hero's path.
Well, I hate to say this, but I do feel like it's going to be pretty crazy, Jay. We know Plarium, it's that time of year. Instead of being generous, they just inflate more. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, so I'm worried they're gonna do the whole like get the multiple souls. So like if you can only do and get a 2-star, you can go and get the 4 or 5 or whatever.
In fairness, though, that's not
like that's
too
better.
bad. That's not actually bad because that allows you to get something, as opposed to nothing. As opposed to you either got to invest everything or get nothing.
100%. Yeah. So what I will say is I have made, especially HP nukers, because I have a case study because I had Taras and the King, and I put them both on the same team, right? And I finally was able to get my 4-star for they were both 3-stars, so I was able to get my 4-star with Taras, and the damage difference is insane to see that bump. And I've actually now gotten the 5-star for Taras, but King's still at 3 stars. And so any nuker, especially if they're an HP based nuker, you've got to have a 4-star soul if they're any way viable in arena whatsoever. So I'm to the point now where, yeah, if you want to use this champion where he's probably going to shine, you have to at least minimum get the 4-star soul. Right. So yeah, I'll be going for it.
Right. The crit damage, the extra crit damage you get on it, I think it's 25% for a 5-star. Is kind of
38%.
38%.
Yes, 38.
No, yeah, you're right. 38. It is 38. Holy shit. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 38% is huge. I mean, you're talking like if you can get it to like 260, right? 262, like boom, you're in the 300 range just for the 4-star soul. It makes a huge difference.
Right. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, so I don't have him yet. I do plan on buying him in the future. So I'm gonna have to check and see how the points are looking. I actually rather prefer it being like it broken down individually versus it just being one big one at the end. So more people can get at least 1 or 2. And for He-Man, that's actually really big because he's not just an attack nuker; he's a HP nuker, which is the blessings are even more important. Like for Rotos, scaling off of HP and attack, it just gives him even more of a boost with the blessing. And also another quick thing about the Yuletide event, a lot of those events are going to also overlap with like the fusion and other things as well, so you're going to be double dipping into stuff like that, so it's not a bad thing for that as well.
Right. Good point.
Yeah, great point.
Okay, so we talked about a couple of nice things, but now it's time to take the gloves off and it's time to talk about real things. So,
spicy time.
Chimera's out. Day 1, I get this quest. Use 1 Chimera key. Can anybody guess what my first reaction to this was? Anyone know exactly what I said? Ken?
Not family friendly?
Exactly. Jay?
What the F, Plario?
PJ?
Yeah.
What
the
I got it.
Gestal?
Yeah, I'm pretty angry, I would imagine.
Zero?
You've got to be shitting me.
Yeah. I was not happy. I'm like, day 1, I haven't even thought about doing my keys yet. I've got so much other shit going on, and let's just say the F-bomb would have just been the nice part of it, right? It is complete horseshit that this is already out there. They introduced they introduced the Clash part of it. This is just, my opinion, way too early to introduce this, right? Brand new content. Listen, I know we're all going to want to do it because it's got a mythical champion tied to it. It's just way too damn early. I feel like, honestly, I think Boozer said it great in content creator chat. He said that the Chimera key and the Hydra key should be under the weekly, not the daily advance quest. I think that makes the absolute most sense. And, you know, a little advice to Plarium, I would really follow that, because you really just give us a little more energy. Literally go back in and just swap the quests, right? For, where am I going here? Swap the quests for rank 4 and level something to 12 or ascend a champion. Give us those as an advance, right? Give us a little more energy and move those damn quests into this one, or just add them into this one. I don't care. Just get rid of them out of the damn advanced daily quest. It's an absolute shit show with having to do those, because they are too much. You've got to sit there for at least an hour to do it. That said, have you guys gotten this at all in the last couple of days? Ken?
No, I didn't, but I could be. I mean, it's a random.
Okay. Gestal, what about you? Did you end up getting this quest?
Yeah, I got it and skipped it because we hadn't even cleared like the first couple levels. Like, I don't want to throw my keys at that. It's ridiculous.
Right. Jay?
Yeah, same. Okay, we finally just got to Nightmare.
Okay. PJ?
I have not gotten it, but I think that's a brilliant idea. Adding it to the weekly, it's a weekly boss. Like, why is it in the daily missions? It makes no sense. So yeah, I didn't even think of that, but I think that's a super easy fix too. Like, so easy, and that would make such a big difference in the world.
Right. You know, it's not like they're, I guess my feeling is that they do lock some rewards behind it, right? Because if you happen to get it twice a month, then that's 2 days or 2 quests that you don't get to add on. And depending on the rotation, the keys for Doom Tower aren't big, except for this rotation because it's got one of the better gear sets. It's just annoying to have to skip over a daily. And especially if you're a completionist, this has got to be like one of those things where you're just like, what the fuck? Zero?
Yeah, so I have not gotten it yet, thank goodness. But I did see it on Reddit where this was a thing. And here's my thing. It goes beyond that. This is your new content, Plarium. Please allow your player base to actually take a minute, breathe, and enjoy it, right? Like, let us savor the moment. It's like going on a weekly vacation, and as soon as you land at the resort, they say, oh, here, you got to go through the climax of the whole vacation right now, right out the rip, first day, boom. And now you got the rest of the week to play Tiddlywinks or whatever. It's so annoying that they would force the community to do this. And you know what? I ran one key just to get it done, and luckily I was able to run it in hard or whatever. But I did the same thing with Hydra. I like run my Hydra keys as soon as the reset happens because I don't even want to get this quest. And you can't even take 2 seconds to just, savor. We got a new boss, new stuff to figure out. Boom, do this, or we're gonna slap your energy. It's so stupid.
Right.
So dumb.
Right. And you make a great point right there, because the trying to figure out with Hydra and stuff like that. Like Hydra, I told my guys in clan, I'm like, get your 2 keys in, because once you only have 1 key left, you tend not to get the quest to use a Hydra key, right? I don't know how they have it coded, but it's an absolutely piss off idea to just put this in as a daily. Like, you have to literally run your stuff at the beginning of the week so you don't get it the rest of the month. And it's not like the clan boss ones are that difficult, because what do you get? You got to run a team with a rare, right? Or you got to play certain many debuffs, or like, that's fine. Personally, I feel like all of these quests themselves need to just be reworked, because we have one right here at the monthly one that for 500 campaign battles, which is absolute trash, but that's a whole nother subject in into itself. But doing a Chimera key at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of a content, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I don't think they mentioned that this was going to be part of the patch. I don't remember reading it anywhere saying that, you're gonna get an advanced quest that is going to force you or require you to do a Chimera key. Am I wrong? Did anybody see that somewhere? Jay, anyone, you guys can feel free. No, right.
No.
Chat, have you guys gotten this quest at all? Go ahead, Zero.
Yeah, no, and I just want to jump back in real fast. I mean, the silly part about it is nobody's even had a second to figure out the content, right? Like, this might not be so bad, like you said, in a month from now when everybody's got all their teams and they've min-maxed it and they've done all the stuff. But like, I was just throwing 4 or 5 different combinations of teams just to try to figure out, because it's the new content, we content create. Like, that's kind of what we're supposed to do. But like, for everybody to be forced into it, so dumb, dumb. Like, let us breathe a little bit.
Right. And again, to the people that are going to be out there saying, you're whining and just play the world's smallest violin for you. Listen, it's not, it is brand new content. The rewards are very minuscule, right? For a pay to win player such as myself and most of the guys here, it is very minuscule. It's not, but it's just the fact that they're forcing us to do it, or you lose something. And myself personally, and this is like, I'm pissed off at myself today because I screwed up so bad on my advanced dailies. I have this one quest and I forgot. Okay. I ran all my damn keys and I forgot to do that one, which pisses me off because I am a completionist and I want to get this done. Not for the 130 energy or the 3 player imports or the 5 jumps. Because again, that's not worth it for me. It's just being the completionist, being that part, which is my thing. But again, it is just an absolute shit of a move by Plarium to put this in. Now, as a suggestion, again, I think Boozer had the best one where he said put it in under the weekly. And I would strongly urge you, if it is weekly content, put it in there. It just makes more sense. It just makes more sense. Do any one of you guys disagree, Ken?
Nope. I mean, they just trying hard to make the community angry, which is stupid reason. I don't know why they are keep doing that.
Yeah, Zero.
I just think they want people to do all the content in the game. I think being in the weekly, if that's the thing, do it. And in fact, if the weekly is only like 5 or 6 things, make it 6, 7, 8, 9 things. You're giving them 7 days to do it. Like, just add these in as extras and replace those old ones in the advanced or the daily or whatever it is.
Right.
Me personally, and you know what? It's time to reconsider. They've added so much new content to the game. It's time to reconsider, because I feel like they're just doing here's new content. Let's now tie a quest to make people to go do it. Like, maybe revamp all of them and make them a little bit more. Obviously you need to make an early game. There's a ton of new people that are coming in just because of He-Man, right? But make it relevant to everyone. If you want them to do it. That's my 2 cents. I'll shut up now.
PJ, any ideas on what else they could have do instead?
I love the weekly idea. It's weekly content. We're not expected to do it every single day like Clan Boss, where you're doing this or like Demon Lord Clan Boss, because you're doing that every single day. You don't need to do that for Hydra or Chimera. It seems like a easy fix.
Okay. Jay?
Yeah, I'm down with the weekly one. A good thing they said to use a key and not actually do a trial.
Oh my God, Jay! If they fucking add that quest in, I will fly to. Is it Arizona? Right? I think. No, wherever the fuck you are, I'm gonna drive down there and kick your ass. Shit! If they do that, oh God. Gestal, what about you? Do you agree? Should it just go on to the weekly, or is it cool to stay where it's at?
Weekly? Yeah, and they should throw the Hydra on the weekly too while they're at it, man. And like you said before, that monthly one for 500 campaigns is the dumbest thing in the world. Like, I'll be done with the month and have 350 campaign runs to do.
Yeah.
Like, what do? Do you want to do 350 for a sacred? Like, that's basically what it comes down to. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just an absolute shit of a thing to do. And again, you didn't even tell us that you were going to do it. You just kind of added it. And you want to, look, we're going to try the content out. We're going to do it because it is the new shiny. And we want to try to get the mythical, because most of the other rewards are kind of shit. But it's really, like, You just can't do this. You can't gate us behind having to do this because we need to have a life, damn Plarium. We need to have a goddamn life. So now that my rant on that is done.
Nobody is saying this, we'll move on. But the fact that there's Clash CVC associated with it too, like you're forcing people that get this quest to run their things early, especially because you have to unlock it, get minimalistic points towards a thing. And again, this isn't going to be relevant a month from now, but you're forcing people to do a competitive thing on a daily, or they miss out. That's the part. So we didn't mention that, but that's also just sleazy.
Yeah, again, they could just put it under the weekly, use all 3 of your Hydra keys, use both of your Chimera keys, use certain amount of Clan Boss keys, whatever. Give some extra little bit of rewards here. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. Even if it's just a goddamn energy refill, people will still just use it that way. It's fine. Just get it rid of the advanced dailies. Like, be a little more creative in what you're going to want us to do. Don't worry about your analytics, because as long as you put out some good stuff, we're going to want to do it. It's just simple as that. Now, let's talk about the Chimera and the rewards, because I feel this has been a huge miss. Let's take a look at the top chest for Ultra Nightmare. And looking at the rewards here, we get gemstones, we get pieces for relics, we've got probably the worst thing out of here, which is clan gold, because we don't need it. We do get a bath salt, and then you get 1 to 2 fragments of this mythical champion, which, if let's say you get this every week at 4 chests, I mean, you could probably have this guy in 3 months or a month and a half or something like that. I feel that this was a huge miss on the rewards. Like, this would have been the best place to put primals, mythical shards, mythical books. They said that the rewards coming out of the Chimera were going to be bigger and better than the books. Personally, myself, I feel like this is crap, and I don't think that any of this is worth it, other than, yes, the relics are going to be something we want over time. We're going to want to use them. But I think the most important thing right now is just a mythical champion. And honestly, he's not even that good, if I'm not mistaken. I slightly looked at his kit. But that said, what do you guys think about the rewards? Are you happy with them, or do they need to go back, scrap them, and get back to the drawing board? Ken?
Where is Primal Shard? Where is Mythical Book?
No, okay. Ken's on my side with
what
this
I'm
one.
gonna do with the Clan Gold, man? Like, what is this, man? Clan XP, like. Let's say they don't have a space, you can remove them, you can put there. And also, what is 1-2 fragment mean? Like, 2 fragment is the maximum we can get. This is from top chest, by the way, guys, like Ultra Nightmare. So stupid, man. Like, give us like 1-5 maybe, like 2-5. It's an Ultra Nightmare, man. Not everybody can do that.
Right. Most clans right now, I think even my clan, we're 77% on Nightmare. I haven't even touched my keys. Granted, we've only done, 18 keys. So, and I honestly don't know how many people are going to try to go for it, because again, they might not have the time. It's not, or the champions. But PJ, what about you?
Yeah, it feels like a miss. I'm also pretty sure that the easy to hard chest isn't guaranteed fragments. It's a chance of the fragments. So that's also pretty interesting. Good luck to getting that.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually really shit.
Apparently, I think easy to normal is like only a chance. But yeah, no, like Ken said, no primals, no mythical books. I mean, I get that they value the relics really highly, and like the relics are definitely game changing if you can get good ones. But I don't know, it just feels like they released Demon Lord in the beginning, and then they're like, okay, we can never give rewards as good as this. Like, this is too good. Too many shards, too good. Like, this is still like a weekly thing. It's not like this is happening every single day. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. The mythical looks okay. And yeah, they need to make the harder chests better. Even in Hydra, it's like you get 1 to 3 primal, or yeah, 1 to 3 soul stones versus
Right.
like 1 to 2 from the normal chest. It's like there's barely any difference. They need to, like, I know they don't want to make the gap too big, so like the power creep is too big, but help it out a little bit. It's the toughest new thing in the game.
Well, even at this, let's say you get 22 of the epic ocular masses, right? Okay, 2 chests. You're gonna have what, half the materials to craft, and you gotta wait or at least hope that you get something out of here, because you need what, 25 per to craft something. So even trying to get like, go ahead.
Sorry. No, yeah, and just like the gemstones are RNG as well. Like it's just a lot of RNG on what we're getting.
Right. It's just, for me, I feel like this is just a complete mess. Like, so many other things they could do. I think you're right. You know, they put Clan Boss out. They give Clan Boss is one of the most sought after things for your account's progression, and they figured out that they gave us too much with that, and they can't reel it back because we'll be pissed. Believe you me. you wanna kill Raid Shadow Legends. That's how you do it. You nerf the rewards in Clan Boss. But I feel like with this, it's just so much more could have just been given, right? Jay, what about you?
Yeah, like Clan Gold, we have enough places to get it. You know, we need other stuff. I mean, man, I would even I'll take some gems, honestly. Don't give me Clan Gold. But I mean, a free mythical, people might be like, let's get primal shards and stuff. You might put pulling forever and not get anything. I guess Plarium's kind of like, well, at least we're giving you something guaranteed, and it's something you can work towards. Kind of like Mithrala, right, and Lydia. But it's a mythical, so it's not like a void legendary, so it's different. So I mean, I'm okay with most of the stuff. Like the new stuff that we're gonna be forging. The only thing for me is the clan gold. Like I'm just like, what's the point of that? We could get something else. Like, I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but I only have a certain amount of mythicals. I don't have a lot, and sometimes when I have an excess amount of mythical books, I actually use them on my Legos. So it just goes to show that we still need more Lego books in the game, because I still don't have enough to build like hundreds and hundreds of my Legos that I would like to book. So sometimes when I have an excess amount of mythical books, if I have like 10 and I already booked out like my Aphidus, my Mikage, and I have a Carnage, if I'm not going to use it on Carnage, then I'm going to use it on my other Legos because I have not enough Lego books. So I just wish there was a material where we can kind of like, instead of clan gold, where we could use it to forge and make if we have a lot of it, we can forge it into a Lego book or something. Something like that would have been nice, but.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna keep the clan gold in there, at least put a mythical skill tome in here like once every couple of weeks or something, so we can get it, right? Because I mean, I'm sitting at 4,800, and I don't chase this. I think the last time I actually took a clan quest, and I probably should now because we have, we can try to get that extra bit of XP for the clan. It's been a while. I don't think I've done a clan quest for at least a couple of months, maybe pushing closer to like 6 or 7 months. CVC gives us enough. We get enough from everywhere else. It's just absolutely not needed to be dropped. So again, unless they're planning on giving us something a little bit more here, I don't think it's worth it. You're right. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, honestly, like when we went, as kind of what you were saying earlier, we went from Demon Lord to Hydra, right? And we got Mithrala, and I think people were pretty excited about getting Mithrala. But like, and Stone Skin and Protection are obviously crazy good sets, especially even more so now with Protection. But I was still a bit underwhelmed with what you were getting out of there. Then they added accessories, made it a 9-piece set, and it made it more interesting. But like you weren't getting the shards, and that's like the most important point of part of this game. You're not getting shards in Hydra. Okay, whatever. It's not a big deal. So now we get to this. We've introduced mythicals to the game, and they give us like a whole nother, stat stick basically. And I don't know I don't feel like enthused for it. Pretty much how I felt with, like, I know it's going to be good. I know there's some really good pieces out there, as Kenpachi mentioned earlier. but like, there's so few of them right now, and as people get them, especially the whales, the krakens get them, like it's going to be filled up pretty quickly. I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but like I just don't see the longevity in this. I don't see. I'm not excited about it. Frankly, I'm not excited about it. I wish there was shards. I wish they gave you more of a reason to do it. Honestly, I wouldn't even like if they didn't make it where you had to manual it, and you don't have to manual it, but like to min max, if you were to manual it, you can obviously do better. If they did it more Demon Lord, where you can just set it like put your best champs together in the best gear and have them run it daily and give us good rewards daily, like I feel like that's so much better, man. I don't like the weekly stuff. I don't like the hour-long fights. It's not it's not that type of game to me. So I just end up autoing it and saying whatever. So like I'm not thrilled with it, right? I know it's going to be good. I know they're going to be powerful. I'm going to be going for them, obviously. It's like, what else? But I was expecting a lot more out of all of it. Just to go on, like I think this guy looks cool, but this was not what I was expecting from the Great Void.
Right.
That's all. It doesn't make like how do you get Chimera out of the Great Void?
Right.
I'm sorry, bro. Like, I feel like that was just like, you know what? We have a cool design here. This is what we're gonna put in. Another rant, but
yeah, no, I agree. Listen, the Great Void was been built up and hyped up for a very long time, and unfortunately, I agree with you. It did not live up to the expectation. It did not live up to the hype. You know, it seems like the last 2 years. The big update for Plarium, you know, bigger than Doom Tower, guys. Centranos, yeah, the map was bigger than Doom Tower, but everything else was kind of like, meh, all right. Carnage, we got him, we're done, it's over with. There's nothing else there, right? The rewards for Soul Cross are good, but that's pretty much about it. And, you know, some of the players aren't even able to take on normal Curse City, right? PJ, what about you? Did I? No, sorry. I gotta ask the Dab Master. I forgot him.
No, I have one thing though. Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, add your thing in.
So I was a little bit wrong. It's actually the easy Chimera to the brutal second to last chest. Yeah, champion fragments are not guaranteed from this.
So, up to the Guardian chest.
Yeah.
Champions are not guaranteed. Wow.
Yeah.
That's absolute shit. Because again, when most players are starting to do this, they're going to come in, they're going to barely be able to do easy, and they can't get... I don't even think Mithrala is like that, is it?
No. I think at least, I'm pretty sure guaranteed at least something.
Yeah, you get at least 1 or 2 fragments for her. Holy shit,
I'm pretty sure about it.
Yeah, that's really bad. Dab, talk to me.
All right, so couple. I got a lot of things to say about this. So first of all, J.R. Star is completely right. We don't have enough legendary books in the game. Shame on you, sir, for using mythical books and legendaries. But I get that because they really don't give us enough. And like, I feel like they've ramped up.
The thing is, with that comment, I feel like I need to go unsubscribe from Jay because that is just the worst fucking thing you can do, Jay.
What are you doing?
Come on. Those things aren't easy to get either.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I think they have ramped up the delivery of champions, right? Like, I mean, since the end of Halloween or the beginning of November, Hansel, Gretel, we got Stocked. We're going to get Saint Nick and Chickadee and He-Man and Skeletor. That's 7 legendary champions in the matter of, 5 weeks? Something like that. So, like, there's no... If they're going to dump that many champions on us in a given whatever, we need more ability to get legendary books.
Right.
So JR Star made an excellent point, and I think they need to address this. Now, in regards to chess, can you pull up the chess for me, please?
Yep.
So in regards to chess, I'm going to take an extremely controversial take on this, and bear with me.
Oh boy.
I think I saw or heard somewhere that they were monitoring the metrics, and once Romantu was pulled, a lot of people dropped off from the game. So that was like a big in-game carrot for a champion to earn. Okay. And since then, it kind of makes sense, right? They gave us Mikage, they've given us Amarius, and they've given us Carnage. right? And me personally, I haven't been maxed and focused those champions of medium focus, I would say. And I've, in the last month, I pulled also Carnage and Mario. So speaking of, 2 more champions to add to that player pool of 7. So now I'm up to 9, right? Now I didn't have any more carrot at the end of the stick, and now we've got this content to give this dude.
Hold on, let me cut you off on that though. The thing with that, Elder, is you're talking about champions that are part of the challenges, right? For us to get, or the mission. Sorry, that's totally different because these are based off of everything else we can do. Not a lot of the player base though is going to be able to do Chimera. Chat, a question to you guys. How many of you can actually do Chimera or have actually done Chimera? So sorry. So you raise a perfect point. So what I would say to you again is this is meant to be the end game stuff. So being able to do the Ultra Nightmare, whatever, should be for in-game players only. But they did make it accessible for early game players with the easier stuff. So I want to give them kudos to this because they are making it accessible to early game accounts with whatever champions they have. They might not be able to do it well at all. And I remember using all 3 of my keys on easy Hydra and sucking and barely getting the top chest on easy Hydra. So I think all accounts have to ramp up. And really, you shouldn't be earning this, dude, if you're an early game account. That's my opinion. It should be that end game reward. And I don't necessarily poo-poo on them for making it long and hard. And again, I know that's a controversial take, but I'm just, from a developer's standpoint, in 6 more months, they might drop a new champion that's the next carrot for us to get, right? They just gave us Carnage, they just gave us Marius, right? Before that was Lady Mikage. And so they're constantly giving us a free to earn champion, if you will, that's going to take a while to get. So I don't have a problem with that. Now, the other thing that I'll say is I do feel like these rewards are kind of crappy. I think, Blazin, you raised an interesting point. If they are going to, because they did give us those 2 new slots in the clan shop, that maybe if we are earning this currency, we can buy a legendary book or a mythical book or whatever from that. I think that would be a good synergy. So maybe that's what they have in mind, and we just haven't given it time to figure out yet. But what I'll say also on the total rewards, I do think they are crap for what you're doing. But I will say, and y'all also said it, on Clan Boss, they can never peel that back. So I think they're looking at this going, hey, we're going to start low and see where it is. And if we ramp it up, everybody, if we give better rewards in the future, people are going to love that. But if we put it at a high level and decide we need to bring it back, the community is going to burn the, pitchforks and torches are coming out. So I think for them, for Plarium, it makes sense to come in, lower the rewards, monitor it over time. If we're not getting the relics we need to get in the game and stuff like that, kind of like the blessings or whatever, they'll ramp up ways to get it and earn it. Is my hope. So hopefully they listen to all this. I controversially don't have a problem with where it landed today, but I think they need to monitor it and address it in the future. And okay.
I'll shut up.
Let's talk a little bit about the rewards coming out of the Chimera Clash, because again, this one,
I don't know how we're gonna get 8 billion. That's silly.
Well, so you've got to run yourself like Crypto here. He's got 8 billion, but the team he's running is kind of, you got a +4 Toshiro, Feral, Lady Mikage, Lydia, and Senna. That's what it's gonna take, right? It is crazy because they've made it very dependent on the trials. The more trials you do, the more you complete, the better your score is gonna be. But honestly, like, looking at these rewards, I don't know. Nothing here is absolutely wanting me to push this. Like, I would have to spend hours to try to figure out a team, run it on manual, figure out, because there is no speed tuning this. But again, like, the rewards for the chests themselves are way better than the Chimera boss, than the Chimera Clash. So it's not, I feel like they're not even incentivizing us to do this. They want us to perform billions of points on this, but the rewards, like, we're just not getting back enough Ken, for the Chimera Clash, are you guys going to be pushing, or are you just going to whatever?
I mean, bro, it just released it. Like, people need to build their team, you know, like, we need to be, how to say that, think some tactics, stuff like that. It's very early. I don't know why they released the Chimera with the Clash. It's so stupid, to be honest.
Right.
Like, for the Hydra, they released the Hydra, and after, like, almost 1 year, we got the Clash, right? Makes sense. I don't know why they are rushing, and I don't know. This is literally, like, nobody happy about that, right? We don't want competition on this subject, like this kind of PvE content. Like, look, the Hydra, what happened, they released the Hydra Clash on the Hydra, right?
Yep.
Everybody was happy about 1K, and after that, lots of the drama happened, right? Random stuff, and they nerf, buff, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't think people are happy about the Clash, man.
No.
It's make more drama, and more drama.
Gestal, what about you? Is your clan going to be pushing for Clash?
No, we're not even concerned about Clash. We're just trying to get to Ultra Nightmare basically, and hopefully start taking that bad boy down.
Okay, Jay, what about you?
Yeah, a lot of people are still trying to, like, you know, keep themselves stable on Hydra Clash. But yeah, with this, I wasn't happy that they released, you know, Clash on Chimera. I think it would have been better just as a community, just to first learn the concept of the fight, and everybody gets to show all the different comps, and then we can start min and maxing for Hydra for Chimera Clash. Also, like, me personally, I think it's really good. It's really good as the concept, but like, when I think of the Great Void, right? We've been waiting for years, and Siroth was the reason why there's the shadow over Teleria. So I'm thinking it's going to be something related to him, and it turns out to be some beast, and I'm like, wait, so is there going to be something higher than Chimera later on? Because where's Siroth? Where's the whole reason why the shadow has taken over Teleria? Like, well, it's kind of upsets me a little bit, you know?
I'm gonna put this in World of Warcraft terms. Before we fought, what was his name? The big bad there. It was like 9 or 10 expansions, bro. It was like 9 or 10 expansions. So
we have to wait for Raid 2.0?
I think we're going to wait for Raid 9.0. But by that time, I don't know if I'll be playing it. PJ, what about you, man? Are you guys, I know you guys are very focused at, you know, a lot of this stuff at competing. Will you guys be competing for this?
Yeah, so right now I'm just trying to find the best teams, trying to figure out what we can do. A lot of people haven't put their keys in yet, just trying to, we have Nightmare unlocked, trying to just figure out like the most we can before actually committing to a key. But yeah, I think we'll be competing and seeing what we can do. It's the new, I guess, new Hydra thing. Hydra, I guess, is pretty much dead now, which is kind of sad. They killed Hydra, RIP. But yeah, I think we'll be doing our best.
Okay. Zero, what about you?
Yeah, the clans, I mean, we're just taking it as is. I think the whole purpose of new content is to savor. It's like opening all your Christmas gifts up on Christmas and then playing with them and then never touching them again on the first day, you know? It's like, let's enjoy this, like, try to figure it out. So that's just kind of how we've done it. In fact, our clan leader, who's got probably one of the best accounts on our clan, like, hit the first two. He one-shot the easy, and then I think one-shot the next one. So he just went ahead and just, hey, I'm just throwing my stuff at it, and I'll worry about it later. So yeah, we don't care about the clash right now. I will say the 8 billion is ridiculous, but thought on that was, you know how they nerfed a Hydra, meaning taking it from 15 to 1,000 turns, but they didn't adjust the chest. I think most in-game players, while they saw their damage, you know, take a 50 to 70% swipe down, still were able to kind of do the what 1.2 billion on that. Right. So I'm curious if they saw this and wanted it more of a multi-week thing to earn that top chest. And again, I think start low and maybe improve it over time. I do think that, yeah, one gem slot, one for 8 billion damage, that's kind of absurd. So but again, we haven't all gotten to the nightmare too, right? So those multipliers do go up really quickly on that end game. If you've seen, as you're completing the trials, you add to your multiplier. So I took the base 3, and I think I got it to 4.6 on the hard, or the hard one that I ran. So those higher ones, I think, start at a higher level and go up really fast if you can complete the trials as you go. So we'll see.
Right.
And maybe you're doing 2 teams and you're doing one that's max damage and you're doing one that's, max trials or something like that. It's way too early to figure out, what makes sense with this. But there's another thought that popped in my mind.
So the multipliers, per trial completed aren't bad. And I do want to give him credit. So going into the battle, I like the fact, and I feel like they should do this with Hydra as well too, but they tell you what your clash point is going to look like. So this was actually a good part on them. I like this. Implement it over into Hydra. That way we know what our final score is, because our total damage score doesn't matter. We're really looking for the clash points, because especially for myself, I'm not going to be, I don't see us competing in Chimera Clash. Like, it's not going to be one that we really prioritize, but I will try to get my 8.2 billion. Will I try to get it every week? It does. I don't know. I probably might have a decent team, but nothing crazy. I haven't looked at the trials, but you do need to go back. The rewards, you got to give us the right rewards for the time you're asking us to spend in, right? It's just as simple as that. Let's talk a little bit about the Chimera itself. First of all, how many of you have done all your keys? Ken?
I use only one. Going to attack Ultra Nightmare tomorrow maybe, because I use my key on the Nightmare. It was okay.
Okay.
And Ultra Nightmare I didn't attack yet, so kind of excited to see, I guess, the result.
Okay. Gestal?
I'm going to be doing my first one tonight.
Okay. Jay?
Have fun.
Yeah, my clan wanted me to kind of like Siege. They kind of go first, and whatever they need, I go afterwards to help out.
Right. PJ?
Yeah, so I did one key, helped take down Brutal, and then I've been testing some stuff on Nightmare.
Okay. Zero?
Yeah, so I just did the 1 key on hard and been running, I think, the next level up, and saw that Lydia was better. I was using Rosalvar. Lydia's way better, getting those debuffs, and then was told to put her in a feral set because she boosts the damage on your entire team if you do that. So
Protection
I
set.
haven't looked at the gear yet, but
Protection
hopefully
set.
we can get. I'm sorry.
Protection set, not feral set.
No, feral.
Is it feral?
It does 5%
debuffs.
Look at the feral. Well, you're running a thing, but yeah, I think it's 5% for every debuff, right? For your whole team.
Average is like 4 on each one at
Okay.
least.
She's upping the damage for your entire team by 20%. So yeah, so that's one of those things. Is I really wasn't thinking about it, and it's like, oh, well, she's really good for this, and she helps unlock some of the trial stuff with the skill locking, and she ramps up. Obviously, bringing weaken and defense down is also huge debuffs. But then combined with the feral set, even more damage. So yeah, so and our clan has already knocked out Brutal, so now we just have Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare to do. So we'll see. I got one more key that we're running tonight.
Okay. What kind of teams are you guys kind of working with right now? Because I was really worried that they were going to lock the champions like they did with Hydra, and thank God they didn't, so we can reuse our teams like we do in Clan Boss. Because that would have been absolutely a really shitty move to do if they unlocked the champions as they did in Hydra. But what kind of teams are you guys currently working with, Ken?
In MX HP champion are really strong. I using currently Marius and Gnat. I also try Ninja, but he's doing alright, but not good as the NMAX HP. Alva for the 9-piece protection. 9-piece protection is super important, guys. And I'm not really doing too much trial with the team I'm using, but I also have Romanto, his A2 skill, decrease speed, very important, guys, like Hydra on this boss as well. And Romanto can give you decrease defense, weaken, decrease speed, and block buff, I believe. I'm not 100% about that, but yeah. So far on the Nightmare difficulty, my biggest problem is the Ram form, actually, God form, because reflect damage. and there is literally nothing to protect me against it. But if you got Sevier like Odin is absolutely bonkers against this boss, guys. Like, he can cast the defense stun, and if the boss has a buff, he can strip it. And most important, every 9 turn he's casting block damage, and he's casting block damage a lot, right? Rainform, if you're under block damage, you are not killing yourself from the reflect damage because you are under block damage. So obviously cannot help you forever, but definitely noticeable help. And the last champion I'm using is the Emik. Shout out to Nuzaz actually. So I built the Emik 4-piece reflex, 2-piece impulse, and a 3-piece refresh accessory. Every time you get a turn, cooldown reset, cooldown reset, cooldown reset, and that's really fun, not gonna lie.
Okay.
I got like 180 million, I believe, on Nightmare.
180 million on Nightmare. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess Gina and Crizia, Marius, those are all going to be, the big thing. Although if you guys just noticed while I was in that last one, all I did was the A1 with Crizia and she died. So
yeah,
it's gonna be, she'll be good for some forms, but not for everything, right? Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, like I'm gonna do it on stream. I haven't really built anything yet. But yeah, I've heard enemy max HP champs are definitely OP here. Then try to look to fill out champs to at least hit some of the trials.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, champs, all you guys have been saying sound pretty good to me.
Okay.
I haven't really. I played PoE all day on Friday, so I haven't really.
Okay. It seems like a lot of people have been playing either King Arthur or Path of Exile. So yeah.
I'm excited to get into it, though. It's a new boss. It's fun. I'll probably put a good 2.5 hours in on it today.
Okay. Jay, what about you? Have you came out with anything out of the ordinary?
I haven't been able to play it on my account, but on another player's account, we basically realized, of course, enemy max HP champions, Geomancer, champions that can hard hit, but not too crazy. Like, you have to be careful, but you can, using the preset manager, you can actually turn off, like, so against Ram, you don't want to go, too hard to use your big hitting hits. And then on Viper, you got to make sure, certain things like block buffs, or if you have a champion like Gomuran just got buffed, right? So you can steal stuff. So each form is very unique, and honestly, you can kind of use your preset teams to guide yourself around that. But people are coming up with different things, like Operding Clanfather and now Senna, right? Continuous heal comps might finally be a thing. So it's interesting. This content's actually bringing out other champions you normally probably wouldn't use, so you can use them here. So that's one good thing I could say about Chimera. That's really fun. But pretty much everyone's just spamming mainly the same champions, Nut, a Ninja, Marius, good champions like Chris, because it's just generic, right? Ally protectors, increased defense strengthen. But if you look at the trials, right, as we start completing them, you got to be careful, because in the beginning, you can't really bring too much block damage and killable. It's going to start ignoring that stuff. So more ally protection and strengthen and shields will be a little bit better overall, because as you get lower in the trials, they're at the end. So that's one thing to look at for if you're trying to build teams.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, so I've been messing with a few things. Definitely, enemy max HP is looking really good. Lydia is like insane. She brings so much to the table for this. I also think trials is really important to be focusing on. So for my brutal team, I did 272 million, and I got 11 trials so I did a little over 2 billion clash points. But I've been noticing that like my overall damage might not be as high as some of my other clans, but because I'm doing more trials, it's like closing the gap a little bit, which is pretty cool. As far as Nightmare, I ran a few different teams and I got 200 million damage and then like 2.6 clash points, which I think is pretty solid. 11 trials. I'm running Necmo, Marius, Galathier. Obviously he's a mythical, but Galathier is really, really good. Teox, Lydia, Necmo is solid. Snick Track, I think people are using Snick Track. But yeah, enemy max HP, Gina, Crazia, Marius. I've been trying like Mikage and Ninja. It's a rough rotation because it's also Force.
Right.
For Ninja. So you can expect a little bit better. But it just doesn't seem like it's doing as much damage as I would like it to, at least compared to the enemy max HP right now. Also, we don't have like any of the area bonus stuff for it, so I'm sure when that gets added, things maybe will swap as well, because that's kind of where we saw the big difference in Hydra, was when they added that. That's when we got like the ignore defense and all the extra stats where they became better than enemy max HP. So this is kind of similar to what was in Hydra. Hydra was very enemy max HP heavy, and then they added those area bonus, and then they kind of switched. So I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to go for this.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit. Oh, sorry. Zero. I got you.
Because you know I was going to talk long.
Oh yeah.
No, I did Razavad, Krisk, Elatrion, Blade Master, Sulfurion, and Acrizia. So again, if you're bringing an enemy max HP and you're not nullifying the block damage, and I think JR Star brings a great point, that eventually will start ignoring that stuff, you got to have a reviver. And so I brought Sulfurion to do the HP burn to get some damage to some turn meter boost. And that was kind of the purpose. I was trying to go fast and get as many hits in as I could. And Razavard's bringing the leech. So I think the leech here, if you don't have a dedicated healer, is going to be really key. But the team that I was monkeying around with, that that does already better, way better than that, was Necmo. So again, all your turn meter, your boost, and your leech, right? Lydia, we already talked about that earlier. Blade Master, and I run it with and without Blade Master, and I'm telling you, you got to have that protected block buffs. It's key there. Sulfurion and Acrizia. So far that team's already doing better. So we'll see what it does. But that's the other thing with this that you're not really mentioning is only 5 character slots, and because it's such a diverse champion, you have to bring so much to the table. And so you're just picking your 5 best that kind of can bring the most diversity, right? So that's kind of, we'll see. It'd be curious to see in the next month what people min max this thing and find the really good champions. But it's fun to do.
Right. Well, I think the biggest thing I've been hearing people complain about is that they need to have, especially for Nightmare, a heavy set of mythicals and blessings, right? Because with the higher blessings, that's where a lot of the damage is coming from. Now, I do like, again, the fact that enemy max HP hitters now are making a comeback. It's going to be only a matter of time until they put in, or at least I hope that they put in the, that they put in the area bonuses for Arena. So as you guys, said last week, make sure you guys start saving these. Don't be like me and use up what I currently had. I got a little.
I'm shocked they didn't do that out of the rip if they're gonna put it.
Well, you figure they did all the other dumb shit out of the rip. They should do that too, right? They should. Yeah. But hopefully by this time, they kind of figure out and learn not to screw things up too much, because not that Hydra was a bad thing to add under this. But that's, again, as PJ mentioned, that's when we saw the automatic damage boost to a lot of these teams, because of that 20% ignore defense, the 20% or the 20 speed, the 20% crit damage, that adds up. So Plarium, pay attention and actually do this the right way. But let's talk a little bit about I want to talk a little bit about the graphics, right? Let's give them a little bit of a good thing here, because looking at the Chimera boss, I think they did visual wise a phenomenal job. One of the most difficult things to kind of hit off, and I think they did a very great job. What do you guys think? Out of the clan boss, Hydra, and the Chimera, which one would you vote at the top looks wise? Ken.
Chimera. Yeah, Chimera definitely looking fantastic. But on these days, this is the only good thing we can. I can't tell about Plarium. Like, visual is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Gestal? What do you think of the design?
Yeah, I think it's the best one they've done. It's definitely really cool looking. Like, combining animals is definitely not I would think, an easy thing to do. But somehow it looks like it should be like that almost. So I think they killed it with the art design, and I mean they've been really like that's kind of I think the biggest selling point for people at least checking out this game. But I would say this is probably the coolest one they've done.
Yeah. Jay?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I thought it was, like I said, I thought it was going to be like not a Chimera. I thought it was going to be like a Great Void and actually be something related to Siroth, kind of like a dark energy. But it turned out to be like a mythical boss, right? And it doesn't play like Hydra where it's multiple all at once. It's they go through forms and then you fight each one like that. So it's like multiple little mini, demon lords. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot because I thought it was going to be more like Hydra, where you have to fight all these different Chimera forms all at once. I would be like, no, not another, Hydra. But yeah, I actually like it a lot.
Okay. PJ?
Oh yeah, probably Chimera. The Chimeras actually, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, depending on how many trials you do, the more trials you get, the boss actually kind of changes. So I didn't really notice, but someone in chat noticed. It was actually, I think it was Cake of Cookies. When I was at like 10 or 11 trials, it was like green. Like not all of it, but it had this like green like glow to it.
Really?
His skin was like slashed. It looked really cool, yeah. So the more trials you do, he actually will change his appearance.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That I don't think they've actually done anything like that. I think the only time anything changes is like Clan Boss when he just changes affinity. That's actually kind of cool. Zero?
Yeah, that's cool. I'm now gonna have to say this. I was gonna say I still liked Hydra, and I know Hydra's kind of bad to taste in everybody's mouth, but the idea of destroying a head and then it coming back was kind of cool. And you got the green slime stuff that's going on. But yeah, no, yeah, and if it does change like that again, I'll have to pay attention to this next key.
I'll try to get a screenshot.
Yeah,
Okay.
do that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
It's cool.
Let's talk a little bit about the trials here because they don't seem to start off that bad, but at the end, when you start getting 25 to 27 trials, the Chimera ignores 100% of your defense. Why do we have 100 get extra crit rate on here? I don't understand the bonuses that we're getting, honestly. The Chimera gets extra bonuses, sorry. But we get, it looks like, I thought that we get more damage for ourselves for each one we complete, if I wasn't mistaken.
You get
your current
multiplier.
Okay, the multiplier. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the trials themselves. Going through the trials, how difficult are you finding getting the team and actually completing some of these? Zero.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to get to 27 trials with 5 character slots unless it's additive, and that's the one thing that I'm still kind of very confused about. Yeah, I mean, with who I'm picking, it seems to be okay getting like 9, 10, 11, 9-ish in a run. I have no idea how you're going to do 25 or to 27. That seems insane.
I sent to Blaze in the thing in the chat.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, that actually.
I wish someone would do the math on it.
That actually looks really cool.
Slashes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got like green slashes.
Wow. Okay.
It's really cool.
That was at 9.
trials.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wish someone would do the math and see if it's even possible to do that many with a 5 champion team. I don't think it's possible, right? Because you have to bring so much different, diverse stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah. So it looks like, again, we're P2P. Revenge is a pretty end game clan. It's the clan that Cartman's in. And most of this stuff is arena focused, so they're gonna be chasing it. But 7 trials, I think so far is the highest I've seen. Maybe 8. Yeah, 8 right here. So
yeah, I was able to get 9 with the Lydia one, and again that was on an earlier champion too. That was against Hard.
Right.
I didn't keep the key, but yeah, I don't know how you're gonna get that many. Like even if you got 9 twice and it was additive, I don't think it is, but that's only 18. I don't see how you'll get that high.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be way more difficult than expected to try to get all these trials done.
Unless some stupid RNG with like a Valkynin or something, because he has a chance to put every debuff in the game on as his passive. Like maybe somehow you can use a Valkynin, but I don't know how good he'd be in this fight.
Good idea. Actually.
Yeah, he would
Hold
die.
on. You just Kantra, right?
Oh, yeah,
Has a
Kantra, she
chance
brings
to put
she
on
brings a bunch.
a whole bunch.
Yeah.
A whole bunch.
The
That
Valkynin's
might-
basically everything.
And isn't what the other mythical Aberus, her passive on her alternate
Yeah,
form?
Rio's good too.
Riho does, yeah. I thought she had a. Is it just petrification that she's allowed to put? She's able to put on. I thought she was able to put on more debuffs. Yeah. Okay.
It's Valkynin. That's the one.
Yeah. So I think I might be bringing Kantra into my team.
Hey, 4-0's in the chat. He says he's on it.
He's on it. Let's go figure it
'cause
out.
he's the one that won the Adolin challenge. So
Yeah.
I trust what 4-0 is going to do to this puppy. He's going to tame the Chimera in 36 hours.
Gestal, what about you, man? What do you think?
In terms of
The trials,
champs,
The trials are difficult.
yeah. Like 27 seems outrageous. I didn't think. I don't like. How do you do that? I don't. You're saying 7, 8, 9. That's kind of like what that's what I was thinking would be possible. I don't what are they gonna do? We got mythical champs coming out, or how
Let
do
me
you
chime
get?
in real fast too. The other thing that makes it difficult, you only have 10 turns on the alternate forms too. So you only have 2 rounds of 2 to get all 9 of those done. It's next to impossible.
Okay. This one right
Yeah,
here
so-
seems to be the most pain in the ass one, which is deplete the Chimera's dual bar within 5 turns. You can only do A1s with that.
Jeez.
And it usually picks, I think it's the lowest crit damage one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, yeah. Jay, what about you?
I know the amount sounds insane. I don't think we're meant to do that right from the get-go. But most teams, of what I've seen, because I haven't run my keys yet, but I've run some other people's accounts. On average, on full auto, you get about 2 to 3 trials done. So to get these all done, you'd have to manual, of course, right? Because if you want the best key for Clash, you're gonna have to sit there and actually think, well, who do I have to bring? The problem is, since there's only 5, champions, you have to have to bring champions that bring so much to the table, so I can do the trials and still hit the numbers for Clash. That's the hard part. But I think it's maybe over time. But yeah, it does sound like mythicals, because mythicals have so much more usually in their kits, right? So maybe new champions, who knows? But for now, it's going to be a little tricky to get that full thing. But I think on average, people will get like 10 to 15 trials.
10 to 15 trials is what Jay says. Okay. I think that's a lot. Like I said, I was just looking at the last one, and none of those guys had higher than 8. So, PJ?
Yeah, so I think the trials are really important for the damage. I'm not sure how the hell we're supposed to get the 27, maybe like a full team of mythicals, because then you're pretty much bringing like double the champions. You're really bringing like 10 champions, because each one has 2 different forms. So that's probably what they're thinking, is more mythicals. But yeah, I think it's a fine balance because you're gonna want to. I was talking with 4-0 in my stream, and he said this, and I 100% agree. But it's going to be a fine balance of getting that one key, and then after you get that one key, it's all into like the clash points, because after that, your normal score isn't really anything. So you have to try to find a balance of doing enough damage and like one keying, but then also trying to get all the trials as in the run as well, which I think is the fun part. I do like the trials. It's kind of like a mini game in the game. And I definitely think they're important. They add up, though. He definitely starts hitting really hard when you get up to those like 10 trials, 10 trials. He be smacking.
So
But as far as average, I don't know. I think what Jay said might be a little high.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Zero, what about you?
You already did me.
Oh, sorry. So I didn't miss anybody. I
Me.
decided. Oh,
Yeah, I
Cat.
think you did me first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Usually I run from top to bottom, so.
Yeah, no worries. Tries are hard, man. Like, especially if you don't have a specific champion, but this is like every part of the game, right? Like, for example, like Hydra, if you don't have a Tranda, W Meko, I think it's not a thing anymore. Tranda still think, but the W Meko, I think you need Fina now, right? Unity champion. Again, like if you want the best, you need to have the best option for that. But right now, I'm not really focusing on the trial. I'm actually trying to do like raw damage, trying to get the one key at this full auto. You know, that's my first focus. And maybe over time, I have to check my champion stuff like that, and maybe somebody else gonna figure out some more accessible team. And yeah, we can start doing some trial. But right now, I'm actually running my key on the Ultra Nightmare, and damn, this dude is hitting hard. This dude is hitting hard, and I have a 0 trial done so far. Like,
Wow.
I'm in the turn 36, but again, I don't have a like right champion. But on the Nightmare, I did like at least 3, I believe, maybe 4.
Okay.
And yeah, that's hard. I'm barely keeping my team alive right now. That doesn't looking good.
So actually, you bring up a great point right there, which is barely keeping the team alive. Let's talk a little bit about supports. How many revivers do we need to bring in? Because this does hurt quite a bit. So with that, let's go. Since Ken's running it, how many supports are you running right now?
One only. We cannot use more than one because beside the Hydra, we can only use the 5 champion there, not the 6. So, but the champion like Riho, for example, if you are going to use her as a debuffer, she can also give you block debuff at the same time. Massive heal. Actually, her heal is one of the best heal in the game. And you can use one reviver and one debuffer like a Rio, which is can heal you up, you know, that can help. Hybrid support champion, let's say. Maybe 2 of them you can use it, but you cannot use 2 reviver. It's, yeah. You need reviver more utility, like a Senna, right? Senna is great actually there, if you guys ever.
Okay. What about you, Gestal?
Yeah, I mean, I was probably fairly similar, looking to bring like a one that's solely supporting, and then maybe 1 or 2 more hybrids.
Okay.
You can't bring too much because you're not gonna bring any damage then, but yeah, obviously you got to have enough to bring the trials. So that's crazy. It's a tough one.
Jay, what about you?
If your reviver can also cleanse, then that does fill 2 roles, and that's really good. That's why people are using Galather. He's really busted, and he can also strip buffs for the Viper, which is OP,
Really?
and block active skills.
Galather's that good, huh?
Yeah, he's that crazy. But if you most people are gonna bring some AoE reviver and then some cleanser. But if you have both, that's amazing if they can do that. You normally want some person like a Lydia or a debuffer to help your DPS do more damage, and then you want about 2 to 3 DPS, or at least another debuffer as well. That's what I've seen from my testing. But you also have to make sure when you get to the Ram form, your DPS don't go too crazy, because then everyone will just fall over. So.
Right. I kind of thought I was going to be able to kind of run this team and be like, oh yeah, I've got this, no problem. Little did I know Taurus literally will kill himself here. He one-shot himself earlier. But PJ, what about you?
Yeah, so you gotta bring at least 1 reviver. It's not like Hydra where you can kind of get away with not bringing any revivers. And you want to make sure that they don't have the lowest crit damage, because you're going to get into the Ram form, and I mean, maybe someone else has figured it out, but it's pretty hard to stop that dude from killing your initial champion. So you need to make sure that your lowest crit damage isn't your reviver. So Furion, anyone that can bring revive and also something else like damage, or I know a lot of people are using like Elva, Duchess, and like 9-piece protection if possible. One thing you have to be careful about with solo revivers is on like the Viper form, he'll block your first revive, so that can kind of keck you. So you gotta be careful with that. And then also just like if you have multiple people dying and it's a single target revive, then it's not ideal to get all the way back around. So yeah, I say at least you got to bring at least one reviver. As far as at least right now, I've seen from what I've seen in people's comps.
Okay. Okay. Dab Master, what about yourself?
Yeah, so I missed the original question. I apologize.
The supports. How many supports are you looking to bring onto the team?
Yeah, so I think you just have to bring like I'm bringing essentially 4 supports to the 1 nuker, which is Acrizia, because you kind of have to make sure that they're bringing a bunch to the table. You know, you got Necmo, who's boosting Terminator, but also bringing the leech and attack down, right? You got Lydia doing Lydia things, right? And then you got Sopherion bringing the burns, turn meter, and a revive if you need it. And then Latreon, you got to have the cleanse and you got to have the protected buffs or the block debuffs, and it'd be protected as many as he can get out too. So, yeah. So really, I'm bringing 4, and that just leaves the 1 nuker that will kill herself. So you have Sopherion there to pick her up. So it's interesting mechanics, honestly.
Okay. So right here, I'm looking from Kurzad, which, by the way, he does have a YouTube channel. I know he's taking some time off, but make sure you guys go give him a follow there. Ninja, damn. 74 million damage. I'm trying to find out what difficulty this is. This was brutal. He completed 14 trials on brutal. So that's not actually bad. You know, I guess we're going to come into the conversation now where do we try to complete more trials at a higher stage, or do we complete at a lower stage because the trials will be easier to complete and less damage will be taken from the Chimera for the lower trials, right? So do we want to actually go give everything we have on a Ultra Nightmare team, or do we want to just get the 1 key on Ultra Nightmare and try to complete the trials on the Nightmare one? What do you guys think? Where do you see yourselves focusing more on the trials? Will it be on the Ultra Nightmare or the Nightmare? Ken?
Ultra Nightmare is definitely going to be tough, man. I just finished my key actually. We'll send you the picture, but probably lower difficulty trials is going to be a little bit easier. Maybe we can also try to run the team on the lower difficulty without reviver, so we can replace with the somebody else helping us on the trial, because we need a specific debuff, buff, stuff like that, early attack like mechanic. So probably lower difficulty going to be better for the trials. Not super low, of course, because there's still multiplier apply.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, probably do more a Nightmare to start. Just seems like it's obviously gonna be a little bit easier, so probably aim a little bit more there.
Okay. Jay?
This is 0 try, by the way. Literally 0.
Not. How many trials did you complete here?
0.
0 trials.
Yep.
Wow. So you'll get your personal chest in about what, 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Did you Marius outdamage your Gina?
Well, that's only 1 key.
That's true.
Yeah, that's one key.
Marius is always gonna outdamage Gina. Yeah. Well, Marius also has a 5-star soul. Gina doesn't have a 5-star soul. So, Jay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Since as you do more trials, the boss is gonna get more damage, and it's already harder to survive, like in the higher difficulties, like Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare. Most players are probably gonna do it from hard to Nightmare. I would say hard to brutal on normally, right? Like so, mid game, late game players, maybe even myself as well, would probably go back to brutal and try to get as many trials as possible, just to like learn and kind of show people how to do it. Then once you know your champions are like maybe re-geared, re-artifact ascended, and everything's like maximized, we can go to Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare and try to do the same thing again, you know. But I think most people are just trying to get that big numbers for, you know, Clash, and just trying to get as much as they can for the bottom chest, you know. So trials will probably come along the way.
Okay. PJ?
What's the actual question? I'm sorry.
So trials wise, are you looking to complete more trials in a lower difficulty like brutal or nightmare?
Right. Okay.
Or are you looking to just kind of maximize everything on nightmare or ultra nightmare and do what you can on brutal on hard?
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
So I've been. Yeah. I got you. So I haven't gone to ultra nightmare yet, so it's hard to tell. Like when I was doing brutal, I was nervous about going to nightmare, so and I'm doing nightmare, so now I'm nervous about going to ultra nightmare because you don't know until you actually can run and see how it goes. But personally, I think I'll try to do the trials and see because they definitely get harder. Like you have to do more damage as you go up. Like the challenges get more difficult. So I'll check them out and see. But yeah, with that's interesting that that he had 0 trials and did 1.4. So I'm interested to see if you can do some trials.
Oh, so on a baseline, you get 11, and then they add more. So
no bonus stuff. But one thing about the trials is also you're getting extra, or depending on them, you're getting extra materials and resources for your account, which could be pretty nice. More gemstones, more of the ocular stuff. I'm not super familiar with the names right now, but the other material you need to like upgrade and stuff. So that is one thing, is to try to one way to not farm them, but to get more of those is through the trials, which is pretty nice or interesting as well.
Okay. Dab Master?
Yeah, so I think like right now it's so tough to answer, right? Because I just did hard out the rip, and but now we have Nightmare unlocked, so I'll try that probably tonight. But I think I look at it more as if our clan starts caring about the CVC aspect of this, right? The Clash. I'm more of a top 5 hitter in the clan, so I'm guessing I need to be doing the harder things to farm. And whether that gives me trials or not, I think it's all about trying to get the most points you can get. I do think like if you can do the trials at the lower levels, and again I know the multipliers they're not just 1-to-1, right? Like in Hydra, I think it's 11 for Ultra Nightmare and whatever. Like I don't know.
It's 11 for Ultra Nightmare and 8 for Nightmare.
Yeah, right. So like it could be a difference of 11 no trials and 8 9 or 10 trials might be might be a little bit different. So it'd be interesting to see how that. Still a little too early to figure out, but it may work out that way, right? Like, hey, with the champions, you're gonna get smoked in Ultra Nightmare, and you say you did 100 million damage times 11, that's about 1.1 billion. But then you do the 8 times, and then you get the 9 or 10 trials, and all of a sudden you're at 11.5 on your multiplier. So I don't know, we'll see. I do like they built in the scalability. Again, too early to understand exactly what that's going to look like in the future once people min-max this puppy, but we'll see.
Okay. Now I do want to talk about the stats on this guy, because everything else, the accuracy, defense, is pretty relative, right? Resistance check for it on Ultra Nightmare is 400. Accuracy is 400, so as long as we're running 450, 500 resistance, we should be in the clear. And then accuracy again around 450, 425, we should be clear. But speed has been huge. The Hydra is over, or the Chimera boss is over 305 speed. I mean, is that too much, Ken?
Yeah.
Gestal?
Especially there is no Great Hall bonus yet.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay. Gestal, what do you think?
Yeah, it's the fastest in the game right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like almost 60 faster, I think, than like Fire Knight 10 or something. Yeah, it seems excessive, I guess, but it is the end game, so you got to make it hard. I guess I don't know. It seems really fast.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I turned off my Aceland's A2 here, and he still used that, unless I didn't use my team. No, I did. There
is a different how to say that. Check the team setup. You
Yeah.
can set up for each form actually. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually so nice.
Look at that on the bottom.
That is
So nice.
that is actually
Amazing.
huge.
That's yep.
Yeah.
I did not notice that. Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
That's actually huge. Good point out. Jay, what about you? What do you think? 800 speed, 300 speed, too much? 800,
Holy
800.
shit.
Sorry.
I just reached 420. Jeez. Okay. So 300 is crazy because Shogun's going like 325 or something like that. So, it's just too much. Cause like, I mean, most boosters, right? We're using our champions, let's say for Live Arena or some other content like Hard Amius, right? You're gonna be around the like 320s to the 400s, right? So our next champions are probably going to be like right in the 3s. So you're telling me my nukers or damage champions have to be 280 to 300? It's just kind of crazy, man. If you don't, that's why people are bringing decreased speed, because it's based on the Chimera's turn counts. So you slow him down, get your champions with increased speed so you can keep getting as many turns, get as much done. It just, yeah, you got to slow him down because that's why decreased speed is important. But other than that, it's just way too fast. I mean, I think what they could have done was maybe certain interactions would have caused him, like the more times he forms or something like that, he starts scaling and gets more speed and stuff like that. Instead of just right off the rip, he's just like, there you go. This difficulty has this much speed. But I guess that the whole point is the more you do it, the more you get those gemstones, and you can start, getting your people faster, or more blessings and things like that. So, we'll see.
Okay. PJ?
Oh, tough question. I'm gonna say actually no, he's not too fast, and that's because I think we're looking at the game right now. Like right now he's too fast, but if like with the new relics, no area bonus, like we gotta be looking about it down the line. Like once we get all like the more speed with the relics, like JR said, the area bonus I'm guessing is coming. If it was slower, then it would be way too easy. I think that will cover the gap and make it so it's hard right now. Yes, like it's too fast now and the state of the game, but where the state of the game will be in a few months or in a year down the line after we get these like new implemented things into the game actually and players get their hands on it, is going to be, I think, a lot better. So it's like, yes, right now it's too fast, but I think down the line it actually will be okay.
Okay. Zero?
Yeah, you know what, PJ brings up a great point. Yeah, some of those have like plus 24 speed, right? Or that one like mythical one. Yeah, I think PJ's right. And if we add the clan hall bonus to this, or the live arena bonus, whatever it's called, those in combinations will get better. Yeah, that's a great point. I do think it's almost ridiculous to expect 300 plus on your nukers for the hardest. But again, you throw those relics on and you get an extra 24 speed, and all of a sudden that changes things, right? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I think PJ brings up a valid point. They've added more power creep to the game, and this is the in-game content today. So maybe it's valid. But didn't they nerf the 3, right? Twins, Sand Devil, and Shogun?
Yeah.
So, there's hope that they monitor this and they find that only the top 0.05% of the population can actually handle Ultra Nightmare, and they scale them back a little bit. So they've done it in the past. So I wouldn't say they wouldn't consider that if it's too hard.
I think this is going to be the most difficult trial here to try to deplete this, because there's no way you're going to build a support champion with more crit damage than, I'm not gonna put like 250 crit damage on my Marichka or something. That's just dumb. I don't know.
Does it have to be the person that's in duel beat it, or can it be anyone?
No, it has to be them. It has to be them. It has to be the one that's in the duel to beat it. Unfortunately, but that's crazy, and it always goes after the lowest champ. The lowest crit damage. Crazy. All right. Last question is going to be the relics. We all got the same relics starting off, and I'm curious to find out who is the champion that you put it on. Ken?
I put on the Arbiter. Yeah, she's my speed leader right now. Sifi is slow, go second champion. So
I thought we all got the same one. What did you get for a relic?
is the useless one unholy something like that? I believe, but the gemstone is pretty cool to boosting your turn meter. I mean, increase effect. So is that the same one, right?
I'm gonna go check.
Unholy Grail, yeah.
Relic is not important, but the gemstone you put there is actually pretty cool.
Okay. It's interesting. So I want to make sure.
The gem, yeah. He's talking about the gemstone.
Okay, the gemstone.
Yeah.
Okay, turn meter effects. Gotcha. Okay. Gestal, what about you?
I haven't put it on anyone because you need currency to take it off.
Yeah.
I just figured I'll wait until I get some of that currency and then start figuring it all out.
Forcing you to. Yeah.
Yeah. Jay?
You're muted.
You're muted, bro.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna do it too. I was gonna equip it on stream, and then people were like, "Whoa, it costs resources." I was like, "Oh, wait, we don't have those resources. I'm not doing it then." So I didn't do it.
Okay. 0?
Yeah, same exact thing. It's the first one, and it looks to be a crappy one. You're right about the gemstone, and Arbiter's probably the best person to put that on. But yeah, I want to get another one and have to pay to remove that one because I get a better one, right? So
Okay.
yeah, it's one of those things. Just wait and see.
Okay. PJ?
Yeah, I put the gemstone in the relic, but I haven't actually put the relic on anyone yet. I was thinking about doing someone in the Chimera for just more turn meter boost there. If you're like arena, so you could do someone in arena, but yeah, I haven't put it on anyone quite yet.
Okay. So as you guys can see here, I put it on Trunda, and the only reason I'm putting it on Trunda is because I plan on pairing her with a Gerptuk. Right? So we're gonna get a little bit of extra damage on her. We'll see. Will it be worth it? Will it be not? I mean, it is a crappy one that we got, but
Can't hurt.
no, it can't. And turn meter effects on her, we give her a little bit of a boost. We could just build her a little slower. So overall, what is your current sentiment of, 3 days in, we'll call it week 1 of the new patch with Chimera? Are you still for it, still excited, or kind of like in the middle, or not even really caring about it? 0.
About it.
About the whole patch, the whole Chimera thing, everything. Are you still excited about it?
I think it's okay. I think one thing that we didn't really mention is Gamarin, and I think I was talking about Opidine or whatever. I don't have him, but I recently just pulled Gamarin, and I think Gamarin could get stupid in arena with what they can do now. So, yeah, overall, I think good. I'm shocked it didn't break a lot of stuff, because usually traditionally they break a ton of stuff when they do these patches. So and shout out to Fobstoff for giving us a new interface on RSL Helper and getting it out really quickly.
Yes.
So shout out to him. I think if anybody's using RSL Helper, he has a little PayPal thing. Throw him a few bucks. I mean, it's Christmas time, and honestly, he makes this game playable for all of us.
Right.
So shout out to him, and that I know that's your final thing, but that's going to be my official shout out at the end of the thing. He streams too. Yeah, I think they did good. I to go back to the original question, and they didn't really break anything. And I'm hopeful again that they monitor this and adjust where needed, whether that's up the rewards, lower the damage, lower the speed of the champion, maybe adjust the trials. I don't think that anybody's going to be able to get 27 in one run. So they will hopefully be open. I think it may take several months. Maybe this is a March timeframe where they, look towards introducing some of that. So overall, I'm all for it. And they did good with the new skin. So on the main thing with the Jingle Hunters ice skating around the thing and such. So it's good. It's good.
Okay.
Good one.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Overall, I would say I'm pretty happy. I've been liking the Chimera so far. I like the idea of the trials, kind of like the game inside the game. But you don't necessarily have to do it. But it might be. I mean, we don't really know much. It might be better to do one. Might be better to ignore them and just do raw damage. But I guess that's the fun. We get to test and find out. I think overall the Chimera is pretty solid. Maybe you could do some little tweaks here and there, but it's nothing too crazy. It seems like at the moment, which is good. A lot of people are having some success, and then obviously it's only the first 3 days. Like, let's give it a few months down the line to see how it goes. But overall, pretty happy. Just sucks that now I feel like Hydra is really just like kind of forgotten about, and which is kind of a shame. I guess that's just kind of how it is. They add new content, and the old content is just kind of left behind. But yeah, overall, I'm pretty excited about doing more Chimera testing and playing with it.
Awesome.
Nobody cares about them screwing up Hydra now.
Yeah, exactly. Although I will, yeah. You know what? I'll let it go. Jay, what about you, brother?
Yeah, overall, I'm pretty happy. The only thing I would have been, because I like diversity in the game, right? Like I liked when you first played it had like a lot of artifact sets. I think what they need to keep in track of is just make sure things are viable. You know, a lot of sets got power crept by the new ones, and now we have relics and gemstones. I like it. It allows us to do different builds, but I just want them to, you know, I know they restricted on like the resources you get. The reason why they were getting so many points is because they don't want us to, of course, go too far into the game, and they want us to go longer, playing years. But just, you know, I think it's okay giving accuracy, defense, and things like that, but speed, they need to limit. It's getting a little too crazy in terms of how fast things can go. I know it's a turn-based game, but you got to make the turns actually feel good instead of just like triple lapping people, you know? So I would just say, like, if they're going in the future for more stuff coming out in Raid, just watch, you know, in terms of balance. But they're probably just going to monetize everything, so.
Right. Don't worry, darn. I won't let it go that far. It's still here. I don't want to be here 2 more hours streaming because Ken's got to go to bed too. That said, Ken, what about you?
Chimera, I'm okay with it. It's fun. One more Columbus, why not? But the relic system, gemstone are totally going to destroy the arena.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. Like there is a one relic. I want you show people to that one. Chimera relic. Cube one. What was the name of it? It's a cube. Can you check that on the index?
Oh, the double turn one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Forge. Go to Forge.
Okay.
And you can make it 100%, right?
There is a relic crafting and relic index on the bottom right. Yep. In the top left, choose the Chimera one. Top left. There is a. Yep. Right there. There we go. Cube one. There we go.
Ooh.
Second one.
Chrono
Cube. Yeah. So this is how is that work. Shout out the Bronco, by the way. He's amazing on test server. He's keep discovering the broken stuff, right? So you are gonna put that on the Armas. You are gonna use Armas A3 skill. You are gonna ship, and you are gonna strip the enemy buff. Then you are gonna get extra turn from the Chrono Cube. Then you are gonna use the A2 skill.
I think you can upgrade to 100% chance.
100%, it is.
Yeah, you upgrade it.
Okay.
I really want to know who design in this game, like what is the brilliant idea behind of them. Like if you look at the gemstones, they are like another story, man. There's a one gemstone give you 100 accuracy right away. There's a one gemstone give you 5% ignore resistance. There's a gemstones destroying your speed by 7% if you land the stun debuff on the enemy team. Like what the hell they are trying to do?
Yeah.
Big teams was meta and they are alright. Like let me explain you what's gonna happen on the next couple of months. If you slow, you are dead. If you are fast, fight 10 seconds. That's all.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yep. Good thing for the whales. Well, what is this one's the new one coming in too?
Let 400 accuracy.
Okay. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, this was my fear from the beginning. just obviously like stat sticks going crazy. It's gonna affect Live Arena the most, I feel like, or at least that's where it's gonna be felt the most. It's gonna help everybody in PvE, which is always great. But to me, this game's longevity is in the PvP. They can keep putting out the content, but they do basically 2 big updates to PvE, or 2 big updates a year, mostly to PvE. So really where the longevity to me, and I know a lot of people don't like PvP, but I feel like it's in PvP, and this is affecting PvP the most.
Right.
Whereas it's exciting, and you feel like your champs are going to get great. The Kraken champs are going to get even better. So, I mean, we're going to see how it plays out, right? But Kenpachi was just saying, was basically my fears with this stuff coming out, and I hope I'm beating my head against the drum the last couple nights from Poly, man. Like, they've amped up Poly. I don't know what they're doing, and this is just like gonna add more frustration, I feel like. So I don't know. I'm hopeful, but I'm nervous.
All right. Well, next week we will be going down. We'll break down through all of these relics and the gemstones and kind of see, are they really going to break the game as bad as Ken says, or are they going to save it? But with that said, Ken, where can people come and find you?
FinalKenpachi, both YouTube and the Twitch. We are streaming every single day, guys, on the Columbus Reset at the Twitch. Thank you.
All right. Gestal, what about you?
Yeah, Gestal Gaming on Twitch and YouTube's. I'll be streaming 2 to 7 every day except for Saturday, Pacific Coast time. Hope to see you there.
Okay. Jay?
You can find me on twitch.tv and on YouTube with JRStar3.
All right. PJ?
MXPJE on Twitch stream pretty much every single weekday, 2 times a day as much as possible. We'll be doing a lot of Chimera. Come say what's up and hang out.
All right. Zero Brew.
Yep. Find me on the YouTubes and the Twitches Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. I did a video every day last week with the primals. I kind of spread it out into 5 different videos, and I did one on Hill Hades Optimizer. But yeah, if anybody would love to just subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the help.
All right. That's it. Zero. I'm going to start. Oh, they can find me here every day after January 1st.
Gotcha.
Zero, what about a shout out? What you got for me?
So Bob Staroff, he has, I think, a YouTube channel, and he also will stream every now and then, but he's the mastermind behind the Arsenal Helper. And I was serious about throwing him a few dollars for the holidays, because he does this out of the goodness of his heart. And honestly, I thought about it. I don't think I could play this game without that tool. And then it's mandatory thing. And he spends his real life time to make that thing work for the entire community. So yeah, give him some love.
Agreed.
I'll grab his links, throw them in chat.
Thank you. PJ, what you got for a shout out for me?
Okay, we're gonna be giving a shout out to Layla Fox and Nation. She's awesome. She's official CC. She does lots of cosplays, streams on Twitch, does YouTube, plays other games as well. She's really chill, good vibes, and go check her out.
Awesome. Love Layla. Love her whole thing about camels too. It's hump day. Jay, what about you?
I'm gonna be shouting out Felross. So most of content creators in Raid, or most players, are gonna be around like 25, 30, 40, their demographic. This is the new content creator in the Raid space, and they're pretty young. I'll post their channel over here, or at least the name. I'll give the YouTube. But my shout out goes to him. Yeah, he's not like crazy 3-4 head players, probably new mid-game player, but just wanted to shout him out because at least, it's not very often do we get to see people, 18 to 20s doing raid content. So, and we lost Mr. Burrito Slayer, so that's sad.
Yeah, sad day. Gestal, what about you? What you got for a shout out?
I'm gonna give a shout out to my younger brother. He's here this weekend. He's up in Palm Springs. He just completed an Ironman triathlon. 70.3 miles in 5 hours and 36 minutes.
Wow.
That's pretty ridiculous, bro. I don't know how he does it. He's 1 year younger than me, which is 44. And he's doing Ironmans, bro. That is ridiculous. So shout out to my brother. He's awesome.
Crazy. Wow. Yeah. Ken, what about you?
I like to shout out the people on the last Friday on the Sabaton doesn't leave me alone. And we did a very long stream and 2 energy drink, 3 coffee, and I survived. And especially shout out the special part when we switched to Path of Exile launch day, by the way. We wait 2 hours on the login screen to try to log in the game, and they was still watching me there by clicking me login button, disconnect, login. That was awesome. It was like 2 a.m. for me, like super late, and yeah, we shout out on that.
Wow. Yeah, that's, I don't know how you guys do like the 14, 15 hour streams. I think Jay's done like a couple of 24-hour streams. I can't do that, bro. Can't do that. That said, guys, it has been a wonderful time. Thank you all for hanging out with us. I do have a shout out for me though, and it's actually going to go to the Saffron Man. I see that he's streaming right now, Path of Exile. So we're going to go give him a raid over on Twitch. He's got drops active, so make sure you guys check him out for a little bit. Give him some love, give him a follow when we get there. And, you know, it's going to be an interesting ride with Raid over the next couple of weeks. We've got a lot of things to talk about. It's almost the end of 2024. Just, I guess, keep calm and Raid on. Guys, as always, much love, much appreciation. Thank you all for your time, and we'll catch you guys next time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go! Bye, guys. All right, we're good.